You're listening to the Low Pressure Podcast, the podcast for skiers.
Presented by CMH Heli Skiing and Peak Performance.
This episode of the LPP is brought to you by CMH Heli Skiing, Peak Performance Outerwear, Fat Tire Amber Ale, RMU Skis and Mountain Culture Shops, and the official destination partner of the LPP, Kicking Horse Mountain Resort in beautiful Golden, British Columbia. Enjoy the episode. And recording. Thanks for coming to the mobile makeshift studios here in
no worries, with pleasure.
Here in Verbier. You live near here, correct? Not a Verbier guy, but you live in the area, the Valley area?
Yeah, it's few valley, more west, I would say, in the Maricotte. And then, it's 30-minute drive to come here, so I'm often riding here.
Right. Is that closer, is it like in between here and Chamonix, or is it on the other side?
It's super close to Chamonix. Mm-hmm. It's actually on the border, but in the Swiss side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is kind of maybe one of the reasons why you're such a enthusiastic like ski mountaineer, is because this is kind of like the home.
Yeah, probably. Like, if I would have been, born in a city, it would have been different for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I watched some of the La Liste again. Today, and I remembered I had kind of forgotten about it, but a lot of like legends that came before you, like Sylvain Soudan, and even some of your like peers now, like Samantha Madden and Zav and the Falquet brothers. You give a lot of attention to the history of the area, which I always thought was really cool.
Yeah.
But this is the heart, like the home of ski mountaineering, I think.
Yeah, a lot of things started here with Sylvain Soudan. And also I was, for me it was normal to explain a little bit what's happening back in the days, because they showed the way, and then nobody was like doing what they were doing back in the day, so it was like a huge improvement. And for us, we are just doing what they already done 50 years before, with better materials, better boots, better outfits, better skis. So yeah, all the sharing is for them for sure.
Yeah. So how do you feel about moving on, taking that and bringing it onto the next stage of progression? Like you, to people in our generation, are what they were to their generation. Like you're like the Sylvain Soudan, or I know it might be hard for you to, is that because you seem like a humble guy, it may be hard for you to say, oh, I'm not at that level, but to a lot of people, that's the same.
Yeah, but it could be, but I did some first descent, but I never claim it. Like Sylvain Soudan did. The first descent, the Anzewi, Ansenbo, they were the first of doing this. We are just doing kind of the same in our style, maybe, but it's
but making it a little bit pushing it farther, right?
Yeah, of course, because we have all this experience from those guys, because we know that it's getting conditioned. When in the year, for example, we know that it's skiable. So that's some question that they had back in the days. That
can you do it?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then we know that it's possible now, the new generation. So we can concentrate on all the things, developing, materials for that.
But also like skiing the line better, right?
Yeah.
Better, but in your case, faster.
Yeah. Because it's another approach, I would say. Because I've been talking a lot with Sylvain, for example, and he was like really searching for the snow to be consistent from the top to the bottom, to have less surprises. And then we are taking a little bit of more risk to have a softer condition to be able to ski faster. So it's a little bit, the approach is a little bit different.
Right. Question for you, with that, approaching guys like Sylvain and some of your heroes, was it easy to become friends with them, to become like to have them become like a mentor to you? Was it hard to really connect with them? Because I know legends like that, sometimes they may not make it easy to be approachable. Some are very approachable where you can say, hey, this is aspiring ski mountaineer, like, can I pick your brain? Was it easy to kind of create those relationships with them, or did you have to prove yourself first?
No, pretty easy.
Yeah.
But also I'm pretty lucky because my grandfather, he's a skier, and he was skiing with Sylvain Saudin back in the days.
Oh, yeah.
So they are friends. And Dede Anzewi, it's a guy that I know since before the first movie. And then I knew some of the guy a little bit before.
Right.
So
they knew you since you were diapers.
Yeah, and it's so much easier to make it the link. And then we are thinking to passionate people also. It's super warm, welcoming when you are speaking the same language in terms of mountain skiing. So they are super cool. And
they see that you have the passion for it too, right? I'm sure that it helps that you are full on into it. You're invested. This is what I want to do with my life. And you don't really approach it half-assed, like, I'm not going to go and treat this lightly. I'm treating this seriously. So they probably see that in you and say, okay, I'll give him my time. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But also it was pretty early to, when I look back, when I was, 25, 26, it was pretty early for a young man like this to do such a descent here in the Alps. Right. So, I'm glad that I choose, the best people to surround me, better, with a lot of experience. I had friends that are mountain guide. My stepfather was a mountain guide also on the project. And then with Sami on Tamaten. So, maybe I was able to ski this line the way I want, but to approach them and to catch the perfect timing, it was a team effort. Yeah. Right. Well, we can talk about the list. I want to talk about the list a little bit more, even though it's been almost 7 years. Yeah. 6-7 years since it came out. But it's still one of those films, I think, in skiing that people are like, oh, at least. Good. You know what I mean? There's those handful of how many films come out a year. Like I have 3, and we see hundreds of films come in every year. But there's always like a handful that kind of really stand out, and the Liste is definitely one of them. Oh, thanks. Thank you. It was really entertaining to see. And I was going to make a joke about, you said you were doing it at 25, 26. Usually guys your age will free ride and ski. And then when their bodies start getting sore, then they'll go for climbs because it's like a nice long route. They don't have to smash their body too hard. Like a climb and a ski. But you did Freeride World Tour for many years as well. Yeah. And I was looking over some of the results. And I think your first year you were 4th. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Second year you came in 3rd. Third year you were in 2nd, and then unfortunately you just kind of stalled out. Yeah. But I heard a story about a run you did in Fieberbrunn on like one ski. Yeah. And you skied off a cliff. That's maybe the biggest mistake I ever done, actually. Tell me about this. Competing in Fieberbrunn, I was sitting 2nd in I was fighting for the title actually for the first time against Drew Tapke. Oh yeah. And then I did a really nice line at the top. Really, because when I was scoping lines on competition, I was imagining myself skiing it. And usually it's always, you always have surprises. You need to slow down. You need to, and then the top part was actually even better than I was thinking. And then I was super fired up. And then I went to this little jump at the end that everyone was eating. And then I did the shittiest 360 I could ever do. And I lost a ski there. And I was, it's happened in a split second. And I was so mad at me that I just say, just let's go to the finish area. So you blew a ski and you wanted to just get out on one leg? Yeah, because I totally forgot that there were another jump. Yeah, right. Actually.
Then I was on my skis, deciding to stop this bad dream, and then suddenly the last cliff came.
So you launched off a cliff with
Yeah.
one ski on?
Yeah, and then I was with one ski. It was possible to jump it, I guess, but I guess I wanted to land it on my two skis because it's like
Like one ski and then your boot?
yeah.
Yeah.
So the boots went down and then twist somehow and then dislocate my hip. Actually.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Was it out of the socket?
Yeah, in the back.
Did it? Oh, and did you have to get it put back in, or did it slide
They
in by
did
itself?
it, yeah.
Oh my god!
But it was crazy because I was almost paralyzed. I was facing down, and I couldn't move my lower body.
Right. Well, just because it's
I don't know.
it's so stiff and it's out of place, and
maybe
like,
some nerve was.
like I've dislocated my shoulder before,
Oh yeah.
and there's no way I was moving that.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
at all, zero. But I can. That was the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire
Yeah.
life, and I have hurt myself a lot,
Yeah.
without a doubt. I can't even imagine how much pain that was.
Yeah. They say that it's the worst. It's actually the shoulder.
Really?
In terms of pain, yeah.
For
But,
real? I'll take it. Hey, I'll take it.
But it was super painful. It was super constant. Regular. It was not with the beat of your heart.
The waves. It's just constant pain.
Yeah, it was constant and it was horrible. But luckily the patrol was there in maybe 15 minutes
Oh, really?
because they had to come with the helicopter with the
The
long line.
Yeah.
And then after they give me something and then I was
You're like, I'm good now.
flying.
I had a friend who unfortunately he shattered both of his ankles. We were skiing a powder day on Whistler,
Oh yeah.
and at the very end of the run, it kind of goes off to the left, parallel with like a cat track, but he went over the front.
Yeah.
And he hit the edge of the ditch to
Sure.
where the cat track was. So there's a ditch here, and then he like basically hit the knuckle and then shattered both of his ankles.
Whoa.
And I was like, it was the first run of a powder day, 40 centimeters, and I was a little bit ahead of them. So I ski down and I'm waiting at the chair. I'm like, oh, they're not here. So I get up on the chair. I end up calling my friend who was with him, and I was like, hey, where are you guys? Are you on the chair yet? He goes, oh, our buddy just broke both his ankles, both his legs. I went, what? I could hear him in the background being like, ah. I was like, oh, okay, I'm coming. He's like, I gotta go, and hung up the phone. And I was like, oh no. And the random person beside me on the chairlift heard the call, and they're like, oh, for real? So I ended up skiing back, and patrol was there.
Already?
The patrol was already there, because I had to go up another lift, and then I skied back down. So patrol was already there, and the doctor was there already.
Oh yeah.
And fortunately, we knew them, and the doctor was just putting in a shot of ketamine
Oh yeah.
into his arm, and it was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, because he just went, oh yeah, just started making noises and stuff.
That's crazy.
And so my friend and the patrollers are basically holding him in place, but he's just going blah 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 blah. And I look at them with their face masks on, and they're both like shaking with laughter because they're trying not to laugh so hard, because it was so horrible, but at the same time so funny. But that I know exactly just watching him. So we ended up going to the hospital after. We went to go visit him.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh man, I think I get why people become drug addicts now. I'm like, that was amazing. He's like, I don't think I could ever do that again.
Yeah.
And then the nurse was there. He's like, unless you got some, nurse. Is that what it was that you had too? Is it ketamine?
Yeah.
And then just
Crazy. He say, you count until 5. Do a countdown in your mind.
yeah.
And then I was not even finishing the countdown. I was like, crazy. And then they could move me, and then
Right.
and they put me. We landed with the helicopter at the finish area, and then all the rider went to.
See how you're doing. Meanwhile, you're highest tripping balls.
It's all good, guys. It's all good.
Did you go on any like crazy trips?
I remember when I was in the hospital, they have to put in a machine.
Oh yeah.
And then tie the upper body and the
Oh,
lower
to
body.
put like traction on it?
Yeah, to put it because these two muscle, it's pretty strong and they cannot just put it.
Oh, yeah, they need a machine because it's holding your leg from.
Yeah. And then
So it was still out.
Wait, yeah.
Oh,
it was
Jesus!
still out,
So you had to get to the. How long was it out for?
I don't know, but I was flying during that time. So.
In the helicopter and in the
Yeah.
into a new universe.
Yeah. No, that was pretty cool. But I remember I was just screaming like hell when they were like putting my place in my legs in place. But I don't remember about the pain.
Right.
It just
You don't have that memory of the pain.
Yeah, I think it's made for that actually, ketamine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or you just blocked it out in your.
I don't know.
You buried it deep in your subconscious. That you might have to talk about with a psychiatrist later in life.
And I was talking shit, a lot of shit. Yeah. Sam Antamaten was with me.
Yeah.
And he explained me a little bit, and I was like,
yeah, like the
not
exact.
pretty proud.
Yeah, you just wow.
Yeah. Everything that comes to your mind, you just say it.
Yeah.
He say. Yeah.
And it was that. I guess what was that? 2013 or 2014?
Yeah. Probably 13.
Yeah. So the phones weren't good, really all that good yet.
Yeah.
To be able to.
Hopefully, that's nice.
Yeah. You get some nurse behind the curtain filming you, just being.
No, so that was a huge mistake for sure.
Wow. And is that your worst crash you've ever had?
Yeah, the worst.
Painful?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I'm pretty lucky. I never get like such a ACL or things like this. Yeah, touching wood every day. Yeah. Knock
on wood, right? Well, that's pretty good. Like the kind of skiing you do is, in my opinion, right? Like you're just reading it. You're known as like fast, steep lines, right? That's kind of your thing. But you're also in a place. Well, a lot of the places you ski or you choose to ski or the things that we see you ski are no fall zones.
Yeah.
Super high consequence, crazy, exposure. So there's really no chance. Like you can't just, something like that. You're like, oh, I just blew a ski off. Screw it. I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
Right. You're at a competition, there's people, you don't even think about that consequence.
Yeah.
Whereas kind of the mountaineering and the skiing that you do now, you can't afford to be relaxed like that. So if you do have an accident, it's a freak accident. It's that thing. It's like you plan for 1,000 things. It's 1,001, right?
Yeah.
Which is
right. Yeah.
So, but also, I guess maybe you've been maybe not lucky, but the way that you set up your skiing is you don't allow for mistakes.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
Yeah. And then I crash not often, but I'm not trying new things like every day too.
Right.
Because you can see riders nowadays that they are eating, the side of the piece, doing crazy tricks, and they are trying all the time. I think the difference is that I'm more classic in one way, and then I kind of never crash. Also when I'm skiing with friends.
Right.
So yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah.
You're just one of those guys that just don't crash.
Yeah, but I'm not trying that much too. So.
Right.
I don't have a.
Is it the skis?
Maybe.
I'm asking because I actually tried on your pro. I actually did. I did a demo of them yesterday. Just nice. A super quick little demo.
The longer version.
Yeah.
The 190.
Yeah, I think they were the 182. No, it was the longer one. Yeah.
So that was.
It was 180. It was the longer one.
But it was the 109.
Yeah.
109.
Yeah. What are they called? The Pures.
Yeah.
Right, I was riding with Marty, your Scott team manager, and I was like, I want to try a pair of skis on, and he's like, well, try these ones. I'm like, no, these are small little weird skis. I'm like, I want Jeremie skis. I want big ones. He's like, oh yeah, and they're fun, just straight stiff directional ski. Yeah. I used to ski skis like that back in the day with like the squad, the Robson squad.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever ski those?
No, never. But
did you ever flex those?
Yeah.
And then.
Great.
And then I think Cody Townsend used to ski Solomon ski back in the day called the El Dictator.
Yeah. Yeah.
in like 2010-ish kind of thing, 2011, and I loved those.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely loved those. So that's what that reminded me of, is that kind of style of ski. Lately, in the last few years, I've gotten a little older and lazier, and I like skis that have a little more camber, and I can whip through the trees, like a Hoji or like the Wiley Miller kind of pro models I ski now. But being on those, I'm like, ooh, I like these. It's the kind of ski that's, I guess, you created for the style of skiing that you did. Mm-hmm. What was that process like?
Yeah, the process was pretty natural to me, actually.
Had you been with Scott before, or did you sign with him and say, I want to do a ski?
No. I'm with Scott now for 15 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started with Dynasta.
Yeah.
When I start competing, and then directly I switched for Scott, because having like a Swiss sponsor for me, it's a big thing.
Why?
And then now they just ask me for developing one ski from scratch, actually.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh, cool.
Had you ever done anything like that before?
No, not really. I was a kind of design. I don't know how you can say in English. Ping some scrapper.
Yeah. You're looking at other designs and getting ideas and other skis.
It was more before doing this pure 109. It was more about taking the the scrapper that they were in line and make it even heavier and stiffer.
Right.
That was the thing, and they were doing like 10 pair for me every season for competing, and
they were just like specialty skis for you to start.
Yeah, but that was pretty heavy, but you can straight line anything.
Yeah, like 2 days after a POW day, you can ski down like a mogul run, and the moguls just move out. You could do it like with a coffee in your hand, like like full speed, right?
Gimbo. Yeah, exactly. So that was a little bit how it started.
So just kind of on your competition during the competition years.
Yeah.
And then you're creating your own ski just for you, because you had the ski. There was already skis, and you're like, I need you to make this, but for me.
Yeah.
Like, my version of this model.
Yeah, exactly.
And then eventually they just swapped it over to the Jeremie Heitz Pro model. Do they still sell a lighter, like a mellower version, or do they still it's the one that they sell?
The one you tried
is the one that you would ski.
But that was a little bit the idea of having something's really like perfect for me, actually also having the possibility to sell it to anyone,
right?
And having something that you can walk with, because it's 1 kilo 800 one ski, so it's pretty light for fat skis. And then the reason why it's that we are playing also with rocker with the tip, and then more side cut than the actual scrapper, and then the tail it's flatter, and then we just made a little bit of rocker for when you
in the POW.
Yeah, in the POW, but especially when you do like the ski we've done today, it's pretty technical and cooler. When you need to spin,
you get that little extra.
Exactly.
That's why I've gone into more as I've aged too. Is like the Hoji itself is quite rocker. You can get on edge, but you can just in the trees go.
Super mineable.
Super for lazy. It's not lazy, but it's like easy.
Yeah.
I never asked them, but do you think that they were concerned at first because a ski like that is made for you? Well, you're a different breed of human being. You can ski those skis very, very well. Not a lot of people can ski like you ski.
That was the question I directly asked them.
Do you want people on this?
I was asking, you want me to develop some things that, we can sell to anyone, something's easy to ski.
Right.
And they say, no, you can design your own skis, your dream ski.
Right.
So that was super kind of them. Yeah.
That's cool. Because I know, speaking of those dictators, the L dictators I was telling you about, I did like a Solomon demo one day, helping out a friend. I've only just did the one, and we were in Sun Peaks in the interior of BC near Kamloops. And I think it was the time of the BBR. Do you remember that ski?
BBR.
The BBR had the big shovel at the top, and then it was like a thin little point kind of at the end. It was like almost kind of a gimmicky Solomon ski.
Okay.
But I was helping out with this BBR demo. And
nice.
I had a pair of the El Dictators, and the guy I was with also had a pair, and they were at the back of the tent.
Yeah.
And some guy was like, "Hey, can I try those?" And in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, maybe not." And the other guy, Kyle, is like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So he gets the boot on, guy, and it's not a hill. It's just a like a, I don't know. It's not a mount. It's a mountain, but it's not a big mountain. The vertical isn't crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
And the angles aren't wild, right? Mostly blue runs, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So he gives this guy these skis, and he goes up to the top. He comes back like 15 minutes later. He's like, "Yeah, nope, I can't ski these. Take them. I'll try this. I'll try the BBRs."
Really?
He's like, "I can't handle these. There's too much ski,
Oh.
like way too much ski." And I was like, "Oh, exactly what I expected." So, I guess these are specialty skis. Maybe specialty skis because you got to know what you're doing to be able to handle something like
Yeah,
that.
but that's pretty specific. I guess what we are doing with the Scott Pure, it's much more like if you're good skier, you can ski them. Yeah.
And is it just the one model? Like you don't have like a different model?
Yeah, there is like a few sizes.
Yeah, like lengths or
yeah.
widths.
No, there is actually the 115 also.
Is that the POW ski?
Yeah, that's the free power or something. Yeah, sorry, I don't know the name, but yeah, that's the power ski, the thicker they have actually, and then after we go a little bit like tinier underfoot.
Right,
Yeah.
but your everyday big mountain ski, your expedition ski is your 109.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use the 115 also.
Right, so that would be what you'd use like on your.
They are more like for drifting and then a little bit more playful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So then when you do your missions, like you do on your YouTube series, which is, what is it called? The daily routine?
Yeah, exactly.
Where
Yeah.
you do like one a month kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah.
And then so tell me about that. So I one of the things I was thinking about watching Liste and then checking out the web series. Have you ever called Cody Townsend to be like, "Hey man, you stole my idea," or like, "Way to go"?
No,
do you ever talk to him? Have you ever said that? Like, 'cause
no,
basically,
actually, I just called him. Text him not long ago.
because he was just around the corner, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in Andermatt with
Yeah.
the family, and then we just discussed about maybe an objective.
Have you done any of the 50 Project episodes?
No, never.
No.
Yeah, would be cool actually. But
I think you should, because like I said, like La Liste is like kind of the same concept.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
yeah.
let's go and climb and ski.
Yeah.
Like the 15 steepest. Is it the 15 steepest?
That was my list. kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go find like 15 over the course of 2 years.
Yeah.
And you look at the 50 Project, it's kind of the same thing. It's like
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
the YouTube channel going. He's got the YouTube channel going.
Yeah, but it's different. My YouTube channel now, it's really different. It's more about adventure. Nothing is planned. It's just about combining the fun in the mountains and makes to inspire people a little bit. Because I had this idea of this daily routine episode during the COVID when we were locked down,
Right.
and in Switzerland we could go in the mountains.
Oh, you were allowed to?
Yeah.
Oh, we weren't.
Yeah. I know friends too. It was like we were super lucky.
Don't go in the backcountry, because
Yeah.
if you get hurt, you'll go
Yeah,
they go to the hospitals and they won't have space for you. You'll
Yeah.
take space away from somebody, right?
Yeah.
But you could here.
Yeah, it was a little bit the same actually, but I took the opportunity.
COVID's over now. You can tell us.
But for sure, I was going in the mountains for my mission. With the idea of, you're not able to enjoy yourself or something like this. You need to go to do it safely and a little bit more relaxed, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. But at the same time, so I wanted to tell these people to get out and to move a bit, and then especially in the Alps, everything is so quick to access.
Right.
You can do everything in a day trip. So it's definitely not the case in your country, for example.
Yeah, you got to get way out there.
Yeah.
Well, everything's kind of close there still too, but it's just so much that it's not like it's spread out more.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly,
here
yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's up there. Yeah, exactly. And you can, like you said, you can get back and you can go for a bike ride after. I actually watched that episode. I watched a couple episodes this afternoon.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get an idea of it. And it is pretty much just you going out with your friends and having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Just about, having some contents also for the partners,
Right.
inspiring people, and then having fun.
Do you edit it yourself?
No.
No. I didn't think so.
No.
Not because I didn't think you could, but I was like, oh, RedBull, he's probably got someone that does it for him.
Yeah, it's a good friend of mine, actually. Nico Falquet, which I've done.
So he's on. So he's one of the guys that you first started riding with.
Yeah.
When you were younger.
It's actually the reason why I started free riding, actually.
Yeah, talk about those guys. It's their brothers, right?
Yeah.
Nico and
Loris.
Loris.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about those guys and their influence on you.
Yeah, it's a cool story because they are from Lausanne.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not
Mountain town.
a mountain town, but close by the lake. And then they had and they still have a chalet in Fin-Haut. It's one of the village in my valley, and they were like already like trying to be pro skier back in the days. And they started really going off-piste at the age of 18. And that was the period when if you hit the biggest cliff in the resort, you would be like sponsorized on pro directly.
Oh, really?
And
Because nobody was skiing off-piste then.
Yeah.
No one was free riding.
Yeah. And they were like crazy on jumps. Hitting the biggest jump out there with the backflip. Doesn't matter if you land on your back or it was that time
Right.
time actually, and they were crazy, and they were my idols for sure.
Heroes.
And I was doing some alpine racing back in the days on the chairlift, always watching them. Guido Perini was the cameraman. Yanchi, we are still walking together right now. It's pretty cool, and they were shooting for the first time here in Verbier and after in Les Maricottes, and then we naturally met. Actually, there is a huge gap of age, but Nico is really like the kindest person on earth, and then it's just like he's a kid actually. So every time I had some spare time, I was doing some powder turns beside of the slope with my GS skis, and then one time they just asked me to help them because they were doing a movie during the night.
Oh yeah.
And then
was it colored? What was it called? Was it that
Une Nuit d'Hiver.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's pretty old. One of the first movie they had, and then I would say, yeah, of course, I just want to be like you guys. So if I need to, carry the generator, all the lights, for helping you, it's a pleasure. And during that time, I was working as a landscaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned this job to have a paper after 3 years. I don't know.
Oh, like a trade.
Yeah.
Right. So you get like your red seal, or you're like an official contractor.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you I didn't know they had red seals in landscaping. Did you finish it?
Yeah.
So you're like a tradesman.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
You're a ticketed landscaper.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Do you still do that?
No. I lead.
You don't have to anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it will start again.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah. But I did that actually if I get injured, because I directly knew that I wanted to do some skiing, try at least.
Yeah.
So my parents, as a pretty Swiss guys, they were like, okay, you can try some things on skis, but first you will have a paper. If something happened to you, you will have a job.
Right. So they made you finish your education.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah, that was the most important thing for my mother.
But then you can also ski in the winter and you work all the summers, right?
No,
as a landscaper.
When you study it, you need to walk every day.
And then you go to like classes as well. Or? Yeah.
Once a week. Yeah.
What do you learn in landscaping classes? Like different types of grass and like
different type of grass, different type of grounds,
like fertilizer and soils.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
All the trees, the flowers, the name in Latin, French.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's pretty complex. Yeah.
Like full biology and stuff. And then when I think of landscapers, I think of like obviously people that go and prune your trees and plant your gardens, but landscapers where I live also are like construction landscapers, where you're
exactly,
like, we're gonna get some basalt and put a pillar here and then a couple pieces of granite, and that sort of thing, and like we're gonna design the driveway or a fountain or a fire pit or something. Is that the same stuff that you were doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super nice because after doing this formation, you can do like whatever.
Right.
You're pretty, you know how to use your hand.
You're versatile. Yeah, exactly.
Versatile. Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna carry generators and do that kind of stuff
during the night.
Mm-hmm.
So I was.
So that was the movie that they filmed that night.
Yeah.
That was it.
It was in 2 years.
It was a 2-year project.
Yeah.
So then you would like work landscaping all day and then go and film it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but my boss was really that was a good boss actually, and he knew that I was skiing a lot, and then they were like not in a bad mood if I was showing off like one hour later.
Oh, really?
In the morning, but
falling asleep on your rake in the yard or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, let's go, Heitz, get to it, man. Let's get working. So then you were skiing with those guys, and then they filmed that film, and you were working on it. Did you get some skiing in that one as well?
So that was the first year,
Mm-hmm.
and then for the second year, they say, yeah, Jeremie, we really appreciate all your help with the blessing the lights and things.
Mm-hmm.
So now you just can ski in the front of the camera, and I was like,
Oh, so you kind of had to pay your dues, man.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Also, I think they saw that I was pretty motivated,
Mm-hmm.
and
Because you were how many kids nowadays, right? In the age of Instagram and since then with all the access to making your own stuff now.
Yeah.
How many kids would do what you did nowadays? I don't know, maybe some that really want to try hard, but I don't know if that work ethic is still there. I haven't heard of something like that in a while. Which is cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a little dream actually to get like, and after they were with I remember they were with O'Neill, the brand, and I get my first free jacket, way too big for me.
Yeah.
And then we took an heli drop for one day, heli skiing day, and then we were doing like crazy skiing around some mountains around
across
here,
the way.
Close to Glacier du Trien. It's something that you can see from here if it's clear, and then that was the beginning actually. Yeah.
Really? So they're like, all right, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the hard work that you've done. And then they rewarded you with some skiing, and then they're like, oh, this guy's pretty good. And then they probably at one point were like, oh, this guy's better than we are.
Wow, yeah, but it's been like 4 years that we've been skiing together, and then the process was like pretty different because they were not doing a competition. And directly after this first movie, I get to forerun the extreme of Verbier at the age of 17 years old.
You foreran the Beck at 17 years old?
Get lost.
For real?
Yeah. That was cool. It's a huge experience. And then I directly knew that that there is some things to try at least in that sport.
Right. So then you kind of went through that track you went basically from filming into like freeride competition, which is usually the opposite way around.
Yeah, that's because I knew these Falquet brothers.
Right.
And that was actually a huge deal because I could start with with filming. Because they were like filming everything. Nico was the guy that can ski and film also.
Right.
And then beside of that, I was doing some competition, so I get like the 2 cap, and that's helped me a lot.
You can kind of see how they both work, and then But then I can do both.
Yeah.
Right. I was talking to Raina Barker the other day.
Yeah.
Actually, Zav, I did a little interview with him for his retirement from the Freeride World Tour.
Ah, cool.
And I was asking some of the people that known him for a long time, and Zav was like, "Ask him why he never wanted to do the film route."
Yeah.
15 years in the Freeride World Tour is a long time.
It is, yeah.
And he was just like, "Yeah, I just like this system. I see people that set up these projects, and they're always so stressed, and they have to like worry about location, permits, and filming, and crews, and how to feed everybody, and all those logistics."
Yeah, but you ski what you want.
True. He's like, but also on the tour, show up and they're like, oh, this is your room.
Yeah.
Be here in. And then in between, you can go skiing for your own self as well. So there's like two very different, very different trains of thought, very different approaches.
It is, yeah.
And that wasn't for you though.
Yeah, it was for me.
Oh, you like that too.
Sometimes. Yeah, I like that. And then if you don't like that, you're never gonna score on the Freeride World Tour, I guess, because you need to be like fully committed,
right?
And then not at 100%. You need to be at 200,
right?
Because I could feel that feeling actually when I was thinking about switching for filming the last years. And then I was in 100%, but not like before. Like
you weren't hungry.
Yeah,
you were so hungry for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then near the end, you were still really going for it, but you didn't need it.
Yeah,
it's like I want to do this. It went from like I need to do this when you're young to a little bit older. Like I want to do this, I enjoy this, but you didn't need it anymore. Right?
Yeah, that's different.
So when did you get connected with RedBull? Was it during? Were you on the tour for 5 years? 4?
Maybe 6, I guess.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
And then when did you get connected with RedBull?
That was during the first movie project, Liste.
So was it before the Liste or like during? That's perfect because I was wondering about that. Because I was looking at that and I'm like, did he have a RedBull helmet on in that interview that he did at the beginning? But now he has one. I noticed that just. Like I said, I went and just scrolled through it again this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
And I noticed that in a couple spots where you're talking, you don't have your helmet on. In a couple spots, you are talking. It's like, I wonder if is because you said it was a 2-year project, right?
Yeah.
Did you do the first year and then they signed you on and then the second year you were like, oh, great. And you're like, hey, I'm doing this project. Can I get some money for it too? Is that kind of how it went?
Yeah, it's how it works actually. The RedBull really like, my competing skills, I guess.
Right.
I was doing like I never won any competition actually.
You came in second, I think 4 or 5 times.
The first loser.
Oh.
Second. Yeah, come on.
Do you know what? I was looking at your on a side note, some of your competition results. Like I said, you finished 4th one year, 3rd the next year, 2nd the year after. A lot of second place finishes.
Yeah.
And I was looking at like Carl Renier.
Yeah.
He's kind of the same.
Oh, yeah.
Finished in 3rd, finished in 2nd. He's had some second places, but he's never got the top part.
Yeah.
Does that ever burn you up? Like I never...
At least I think it helped me.
To keep you hungry?
To keep me hungry. And then also to be pretty consistent.
Right.
Because if you win the tour the first year, and then you do like a bad result during the following years, nobody... gonna remember you in one way,
right?
I guess. So having the chance to be consistent for 3 to 4 seasons was even more benefic than winning the tour once, I guess.
So RedBull was interested in you for more of your competition stuff without real, and then you're like, oh hey, I have this project that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we'll support it, but in their minds they were more focused on your competition. And then halfway through, they're probably like, "Oh, this is actually this is where we want to put our energy behind him." Yeah, you go do this.
Yeah,
because it was like I said, it was one of those movies that people mentioned. I was on a gondola the other day, and someone was talking about skiing a line, and it was in French. So I'm.
Oh, okay.
They were talking in French, but I could fairly understand what they were saying. And one guy's like, "Oh, it's just like your they said your list to her." She's like, "Fuck off, man," But it's part of like the culture that movie, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's great. Cool.
And then so you started it like on your own without having RedBull as a backing partner.
That was Mammoth mainly.
It was Mammoth, and then was it the same like vision? Like once you had the backing of RedBull and you realized you have all these more resources, did the project get bigger? Were you able to do more, or did it kind of follow the same path?
It kind of followed the same path because I was working with friends.
Right.
And then we were like fully, every day in the spring, following the condition with plane, scoping the
but
whole
now you have a little bit more.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter at the end.
But now it's like the plane ride is going to be a little easier to pay for if you're going to go for a scoping line.
Actually, I didn't need like a lot of money to do this first project because we were like, it's at home, all the travel things. It's
But it's so wild because you know, like the filming up in those peaks just to get a camera or a helicopter up there
yeah.
or,
Yeah.
or anything, right?
Yeah, but you need to pay the minutes of the helicopter,
Well, exactly.
the cameraman.
Right.
But that's it. It's not like two helicopters filming each other. And
It's not like Travis Rice.
yeah, it's nothing like this.
It's like what was his?
It's been super natural and pretty easy to do the Liste project. But we were super lucky with conditions also.
Right.
Because to do this, all we skied in only 2 seasons, it's been like crazy.
How many did you not accomplish? I know you got most of them done, but there's a few that you didn't get done.
Yeah, but I finished it.
But you went back and did it.
Yeah.
yeah. Of course you did. That was the question.
No, that was great. Yeah, to finally finish these 15 phases.
Where did that idea come from? Was it like hanging out and talking with like the Falquet brothers and?
No, that was nothing concerning the Falquet brothers. Actually, it was during that time I was taking my own path. Actually,
right. Away from the tour and moving on.
Away from the tour, away from Les Maricottes. Doing aesthetical filming and things like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew by the time also Xavier Delerue,
right,
and then Sam Tamaten, because we've been competing
all together on the tour, right?
Yeah,
right.
And then we just team up. We have the same, we become super close friends. And then he was already a mountain guide, and
right,
and also becoming
Sam.
from the becoming from the climbing and all that kind of things. And they were already starting to do this kind of big lines in the Alps with Xavier.
Right.
And then I just went for it.
I was like, I'm gonna do this thing. Like, you want to join on with me?
What?
They're like, I'm doing this thing. Do you want to come do it with me?
Yeah,
or
skiing
like,
some ice, and then skiing in the real terrain a little bit higher than we have here in the Alps. So that was kind of the idea, but it comes super naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's what you need.
Kind of.
It's what you need to do. You're hungry for it.
Yeah, kind of.
So that was like a pretty huge project, and that was quite a ways ago. And you always are continuing to do things. Do you have any big projects in mind? You said you're going on an expedition in the fall, in the spring?
Yeah, in the spring, yeah.
What's that all about?
It's a project it's Mount Robson in the Rockies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a mountain that I've been looking at for many years.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that it's pretty, almost impossible to get the
conditions right,
the
and
conditions.
The timing.
It's been skied only twice. And
The specific line?
Yeah, the North Face, yeah.
Right.
So I just want to give it a try, and then we'll see.
Have you done much outside of like the Alps?
Yeah, for the Liste too, it's
Oh, right. There's the second one too, right?
Yeah. It's mainly outside of the Alps. We ski some of the mountains for the intro. Yeah, a lot of them actually that are here in the Alps. And then after we moved to Peru and Pakistan, to go higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of again the natural evolution.
Right.
Yeah, when I was, hanging around with Sylvain Saudin,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, Jeremie, now you need to travel and to get higher and to put some lines higher in altitude, because that's the evolution actually.
Right.
Yeah, and it's what he have done like way back in the days. He ski 8,000 meters.
Right. Did you know that? So I live in Whistler. Whistler has a couloir called Sudan Couloir.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't like it, so he said he was going to sue them if he didn't change the name. I think because they didn't, I don't know, give him royalties for it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact story. So we started calling it the Couloir Extreme.
Yeah. Okay.
For like 10 years or I don't know, 10, 15 years. And then Vail purchased Whistler, and I guess they talked to him.
Okay.
And it's back to the Sudan Couloir. He came over, and I think they had a plaque and stuff. So it's
no
like,
way.
Yeah, people would always call it Sudan or the Couloir or Sudan.
Sudan.
Extreme Couloir. So he ended up coming back, and they renamed it. They put the name back to his. So people in like Whistler and in like BC, I think in North America specifically, in places like Alta, Snowbird, Jackson,
Yeah.
Whistler, those are like freeride, big mountain freeride stuff. Not a lot of mountaineering. Like they do here. Like it's very, very different. Like there are people that mountaineer for sure because there's great mountains.
Yeah,
but
of course.
The culture isn't surrounded around it as intensely as it is here. So I think a lot of the people that really only know who Sylvain Soudan is because of the couloir.
Oh yeah.
That was in Whistler. That's how I know who he was.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Whistler Blackcomb would be like, "Come to Soudan couloir" when they were doing their advertisements, and then they'd show him skiing something in the '60s or something that, you know, that you probably just did in Liste as well. So that's how we know him. So it's cool that it's cool for me to have that idea of who he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people just thought, oh, maybe he's just this jackass who's got a huge ego who doesn't want us to call it.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you want to call a run after you? Do you know what I mean? We couldn't really understand it. And then hearing stories like this from you, getting to know who he really was and his true influence is really kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's neat. So do you have like any, like Mount Robson obviously is a goal. That's the one you're going to be doing this year. Or is there anything out there that you same kind of thing you can't stop thinking about or you really want to do? Or is it like, or is it one at a time?
Yeah, one at a time. But of course, what we saw in Pakistan, it's for sure the future.
Mm-hmm.
There is so many peaks that haven't been skied, even never climbed. And then there is not even a name on it because there is so many 6,000, 5,000 beautiful ones.
Right.
You know, super sharp with beautiful slope on it. There is a lot of it for your life, my life, for everyone's life here in Verbier. There is it.
Another thing I was thinking about too is you're getting a little older now. What are you, like 33, 34?
Yeah, 33.
You're still quite young.
Yeah.
How has your risk tolerance or your approach to risk changed since you started doing all the stuff you said in your early 20s, which people don't really do, which could be a reason why you were so successful at it is you had that balance of being smart and you approached the mountains carefully because of your good guidance, good mentorship.
Yeah.
But also you had the energy and brazenness. You had the balls of a 25-year-old or the stupidity of a 25-year-old at the same time where you're like, oh, I'm excited. I want to go do this. And you have that strength where risk may not be as important when you're 25 years old versus when you're a little bit older.
Course, yeah.
So how is that changing as you're getting a little older?
It's been changing a lot, actually, especially when we live in Peru. We live in Peru, we had a huge crash with a really good friend of mine, which is Mika, the photographer of the expedition. And then, we actually saw him like nearly dying in front of our eyes. So that's for sure changed everyone's life, not only mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was pretty intense. And then we know all the rider here knows like people that passed away in avalanches and things like this. It's pretty cheesy to say, but it's the truth.
It's part of the game, right? You have to know that's a risk. So how has that affected the way that you approach a project or approach an expedition or an objective? Like, are you more careful? Do you take it a little bit slower? Are you skiing slower? Are you doing anything different?
I'm thinking differently. And then, of course, now I want to, I'm just more aware about the risk, I guess. I was aware back in the days for sure, but
it's different when you're 25.
But you get experiences.
Yeah, when you're 25 and you're aware of the risk, but you haven't actually really experienced or seen the consequences of what that risk represents. Yeah. Right? It changes.
Yeah, it changed for sure. And that's, it's helping me a lot. And then again, it's a natural process, I guess.
Just with decision making or?
Decision making, and also to stay, motivated for objective, to stay in good shape and to take good decision, because that's the key of taking decision. And then now I can do expedition by myself with not having like the biggest crew around me to take decision for me. Of course we keep doing that for filming and
That's interesting because you
everything.
can, the fewer people that are there, if you can keep a tight crew, the fewer people you're responsible for and the fewer people you have to pay attention and worry about. Or you can just focus on the necessities.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Interesting. Because with a lot of your daily routine blog videos or web videos, you just film them all yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm most of the time alone, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's really cool. And then now I'm super motivated to learn even more about mountaineering, access, technical terrain. It's again a natural evolution, and then I'm keep following that.
And do you think about that when you're filming yourself? Do you think about the filming part of things? Do you think, I could
But
do
I
this?
have to. And it's pretty weird to talk, by yourself in front of the camera.
Yeah. I was looking at it. I'm like, I wonder. He's actually pretty good at it. Have you ever seen a show called Survivor Man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not like there's like Bear Grylls has his thing, but it's kind of
Now I'm gonna.
and he's like it's kind of fake. Like he sets things up, but Survivor Man, the guy from Canada,
Yeah.
he goes out in the middle of nowhere by himself and he'll set up a camera and you'll see him like 100 meters away walk across, and then he's got to come back
Yeah.
and get that camera again, and then he goes to the next spot and he sets up a camera and you'll see him do some weird shit, and then he's got to go back and get that camera. So I was thinking about that when I was watching your film.
It's always on me, the camera.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You feel comfortable with it?
Yeah. At the end, it does.
Because it's kind of like a moving selfie. It's like you're doing selfies, but like not
Yeah.
one frame at a time.
It's kind of weird, but in the same time, it's really fun to see those episodes. It would be a nice souvenir also.
Right.
Yeah, it's super nice, and then also it's easy to do, it's fun to do, and then I'm not doing the editing, so it's super easy for me.
Is that easy for you to hand off though? Like for me, because I had all these episodes on YouTube and I do my own things, and I'm the kind of person that has my personal vision. So when I film things, I know how I kind of want it to look.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's really hard for me to like pass it off to have someone else put it together. Do you have issues with that at all?
No, because Nico knows me like since.
Oh, because it's Nico. That's right. You said that because he knows you and he knows your idea.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
oh, okay, I know how you're
and
gonna.
then now there is like.
And also, you started working on one of his films,
Yeah.
right? So you're like, I want you to do what you did for you, but for me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Kind of,
brilliant.
it's
The smart guy. And you said there's that big age gap, so you're still keeping him in the industry. You're keeping him, part of everything.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But it's a Swiss knife. This guy, he can ski, whatever. He can follow me climbing in the mountains. He can do whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's super nice to have him. It's like, and also we are like the best friends actually.
Right. And now it's full circle. Now you have him carrying generators and holding lights.
I will keep him, helping him for sure.
All right, there's a couple other things I wanted to chat with you about. So this season I had started riding my bike to the mountain.
Oh yeah.
I live really close to Whistler, and I've lived in the same place I've lived in for like 10 years. And I never really rode my bike to ski, which I don't understand. I'm just, maybe it's laziness. Maybe I didn't really think about it.
Maybe laziness, huh?
But I can get to the 100%. No, not maybe, 100%. And I thought about it one day. I timed it. I drove to the mountain. I parked. I got all my things ready. I got onto the chair, and it was like 25 minutes, half an hour. And then I rode my bike to the hill the other day. I was on the gondola in 9 minutes.
Oh, no way.
And I was like, oh, Jesus. And I've just started. I wasted so much time. But so I started doing hashtag bike to ski on Instagram, just so I could keep myself, like I could be accountable.
Yeah.
So I had to tell people this is what I was doing to be accountable. And then I was looking at your thing the other day, and I'm like, oh, pedal to pow. I'm like, it's the same thing, but like way better. That's such a better name for it.
Yeah, it's not my idea actually. That's a Scott idea.
It's Scott's idea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Pedal to pow.
Yeah.
And then, so are there resorts near or areas near where you live? Or do you like park and then ride from the parking lot?
No, you can access there is like, it's one main valley, but there is valley like this.
Yeah.
With road everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
We are in Switzerland, so people.
And is it like springtime when like the road is clear, or the fall?
Yeah, or even better when it's super cold. It's pretty rare.
Firm, yeah, and it's groomed.
Yeah.
or flat.
And then you can go.
E-bike?
Yeah, e-bike. Yeah.
Scotty bike? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so question, do you have a good ski rack? Like how do you set your, I need you to send me a photo of your setup.
But it's two sling. Yeah.
It's what?
Two sling. You know, some ropes.
Yeah.
That you put in the guidon. The things you have in the front to pilot. And then there is one buckle there.
Yeah.
And then under the seat there is another buckle, which is elastic.
Okay, I need you to send me.
Yeah,
like,
but it's pretty super easy.
I need a video or just a photo because I've been taking pictures of every time I see skis or board on a bike this season. I've been taking pictures of like people's setups.
Yeah.
And I'll do like the volet straps.
Oh yeah.
And I'll just put both skis along the side.
Yeah,
along,
but that's long to set up.
Right? It's not too long. And then sometimes I was testing like the vertical
Oh,
setup.
yeah. With a flag.
Yeah, no flag, no flag. Or you can put them on your backpack. And I was talking to Hoji. Hoji's been riding his bike forever, and he's got a really cool setup. And he said you just use like a snowboard binding.
No, that's the master.
And
Hoji is the master.
Right? He's the master, the tinkerer. That guy is, yeah.
The tinker, yeah.
He tinkers, and he figures things out. So you're on DynaFit, right?
No, I'm trying actually this season the OG, the boots.
Right.
Oh, no, I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, because I saw you had them on today. So he knows.
Yeah.
We've been watching every like iteration every year. The boot gets a little different.
Yeah.
And like Matty Richard and I'm buddies with, he skis with Hoji all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
He would like test them out, and he would be like, "Oh, he was trying this, and he's gonna do this,"
nice.
and so I was kind of watching them develop it from afar as it went through. But yeah, he's got a good bike setup as well. So I'd like you, if you can, if you remember, show me your bike setup with the skis, and then I'll post it up because I want to figure out what the best way is.
100% sure that the one from OG it's much better than me.
But still, you never know, right? What's good for him could be
super. You know, it's really like. But I was thinking about having the skis on the backpack if it's a long,
long trip.
Yeah, long trip.
Because if you're just like riding, like for me, like down the street, right? The way I had put them, like horizontally along the top tube, you got to ride with your legs bowed a little bit, so you don't ride against the binding. Yeah. Or there's so many different ways. So I'm always interested to see how.
Send it to you.
I'm always interested to see how people set it up, because you can get like the bike rack on the back. Yeah. And I was even thinking about buying a piece of PVC piping.
Oh yeah.
Like they have, and put a cap on it and just slide them in.
Yeah, but that's it's existing.
Yeah, already. For like buses and stuff, do it too. Buses in
no,
Whistler.
on bikes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Or like do like a surfboard style rack with the big hook that comes out to the side. There's so many ways. Oh yeah. So please send me a picture of your bike and the setup, and we'll post that up.
You're gonna see 2 ropes.
the 2 ropes. I think I covered most of
nice.
What I was gonna ask you about. Question for you: is it a sponsorship deal with Mini Cooper? Yeah, you do. I noticed a lot of athletes out here have mini partnerships. I think Marion does too.
Marion, yeah.
And I saw someone the other day too. Are they good, like winter cars?
Yeah, really good. I was super surprised actually.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Because I know they did the CK9 guys, the CK9 film guys did a little Mini Cooper ad for them, I think. And I was like, Mini Cooper, really? And I was watching in Europe. I'm like, Marion's got one. I'm like, Jeremie's got one. I'm like, what's the deal? I wonder.
And they are also like super,
because one of your episodes, I saw you driving up this like switchback road. Yeah. On like snow on a cat track. I'm like, how is that moving like that?
No, they are actually pretty good, because before I was with Audi, and they are amazing on the snow. Right. And then I was like, let's try the Mini now, and then they're really really good. Yeah. It's all the time the same. If you have the good tire, you can go.
Studded tires.
The what?
Do you have studded tires with the metal studs? No, just regular good winter tires.
This one would be nice, but almost of the time you drive on the concrete. Right. So
it's interesting to see that, because at home it's like everyone's got a pickup truck or 4-wheel drive. Oh yeah. Right, like big burly manly pickup truck.
I will do the same for sure.
Yeah, right. But then I was watching this, and you're like bombing up this like switchback road that's all snow, and it didn't look you're losing any traction. I'm like, oh Jesus! Like look at that thing go.
No, it's great. It's super great, and they are super fun to ride. It's little karting actually.
Like go-karting?
Yeah, it's super nice. Yeah.
Do you like karting? Do you like racing?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I
F1?
like to, all those fast things. It's pretty fun.
Everything fast. Yeah, I understand that for me. I can see that.
You
coming
too,
from
I'm
you.
sure.
Oh, I don't know. Not so much anymore. I like to watch people go fast.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, I like going fast. I got to drive the Autobahn last year. It was in the Czech Republic, and I was with Ethan Stone from Down Days.
Oh yeah.
And we drove across Germany. He's like, "You want to drive?" I was like, "Yes, please, thank you." I was like, "This is awesome." So you've got your big project coming up to Mount Robson.
Yeah.
And then what's
Hopefully.
that in May?
It's May, June. We need to
And are there
have
any
information.
And is that going to be turned into like a film project for next fall?
Yeah, for Mammoth, the new collection.
Yeah.
Apparel collection.
Cool. Will it be like a 10-15 minute kind of thing, or
Kind of, yeah.
depending on what you get from
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Walking up to the bottom, shit. Going down. No, it depends how it turn out for sure. But yeah, the main things is to show beautiful skiing on a beautiful mountains with a beautiful story.
Who's going to be on that trip with you?
I don't know yet.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's not a mountain that make excited people.
Yeah, they're like,
Actually,
"You're doing what?" Yeah.
So yeah, I asked Cody, but he's gonna be in Baffin Island during that time.
Baffin.
Yeah.
Wow, the guy's getting after it. He still has a few left to go of the 50.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mount Robson's on it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Has he skied it yet?
No.
And he's not taking advantage? He's like, "Hey, can I co-opt your mammoth thing and turn it into one of my Yeah, he's like, "Just send me the footage and I'll just cut it into like I'll cut it into a 50."
Yeah, but it's maybe planning on that. There is 2 window. He told me maybe something in spring, something in fall. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, he needs to do like so many lines. So he need to take at one time a plan that he need to stick for sure. Because if it's like looking every of the 50s, you will never do anything. So
yeah, right.
Having a plan, it's smart.
Gotta have the plan. Gotta have the plan. Well, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, no worries.
It was really great talking to you.
Thanks for the interest.
Yeah. So just where people can find you, regular Instagram. Is that and then of course your YouTube series, go watch that. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's a little fresher.
It's fun, but it's like you ski gnarly shit compared to what a lot of us would just think is gnarly shit, but you do it and you're like, "Oh, this is good times." Blah, blah, blah. You're making jokes.
Next episode is gonna be ice climbing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Here?
Yeah, close by. Yeah, we access it by paragliding. No approach, like 5 minutes instead of 2 hours.
So you just paraglide off the peak of another, and then
yeah, we took the gondola to my resort, fly in, land at the top, wrap down, and then climbing up.
Yeah.
Fly out again.
And then you fly out again.
Yeah. But that was a little bit more complicated because for taking off on this peak, we had to walk like for 5 hours.
Oh really?
Knee deep.
So not quite that easy.
No. But I really wanted to circle back the mission.
Right.
So the goal was to land in my place again, and then we did that with Sammy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
we didn't even like we're kind of at the end of our time. I didn't even get to talk to you about the paragliding. We'll have to save that for the next one.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
Awesome. Hey man, thanks for coming.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this video on the LPP YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. And while you're here, you may as well watch this great LPP highlights video. Thanks.